A group of Black Republican lawmakers are urging the National Museum of African American History and Culture to honor Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, saying the current exhibit falls short of representing him and that update is long overdue. Freshman Rep. Byron Donalds wrote a letter to leadership at the museum, which was also signed by Senator Tim Scott, Rep. Burgess Owens, and also Dr. Alveda King, Heritage Foundation President Kay Coles James, GOP commentator Paris Dennard, and others. This museum is a national treasure for our nation's fabric. This is especially true for me as a Black American and Republican, Donalds wrote. Black history transcends political correctness and partisanship, he wrote. Overall, the NMAAHC honors its mission, but it is unfortunate to see pitfalls likely driven by irresponsible bias. The display, according to the Washington Post, features a photograph of Thomas at his Supreme Court investiture in 1991, a picture of him as an undergraduate at the College of the Holy Cross, and a copy of Jet magazine with his image on the cover. The exhibit also compares Marshall Thomas, according to the Post, saying Marshall advocated for judicial action while Thomas pushed for judicial restraint. I think in this particular situation, there may be a little bit of a bias. We all, kind of understand and remember the case of the Anita Hill situation, the accusations that she leveled against Clarence Thomas. And I think that that's kind of had a long-lasting effect on our, collective perception of him. Do we want to celebrate somebody that was associated with such a horrible case?
Yeah. What's so interesting to me is he is being celebrated already. I've been to the museum. I've seen the Thurgood Marshall space. And obviously, Thurgood Marshall is going to have the fact that he was the first, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's, that's iconic. That's a big deal. That's important to our history. But Clarence Thomas is there and he's prominent. He's only the second Black Supreme Court justice. And he is there and being celebrated. So I'm confused by this.
And he's been there, I think, the longest right now since 1991. And some might say he's there already, so don't push it.
And he's in the museum, yeah.
So some might be like, look, just leave it alone as is.
I think it's really just kind of like a comparison to say, I don't know, just how Barack Obama is celebrated almost on a daily basis. I think it's a comparative kind of effort being done when they're saying that it's not good enough. But I mean, he got the cover of Jet magazine. It's in there, so he's fine.
Just a quick sidebar. Did you guys see that his wife? You guys remember the story that we talked about his wife? So she actually came forward and apologized to everyone, like in 3 layers of his team, and apologized. And she says, let's pledge to not let politics divide us. I just wanted to add that in there while we were talking about Clarence. But it's just like, girl, child. Well, we talked about her already, and I'm sure we'll get a chance. We'll get a chance to talk about her a little bit more, but I wanted to add that in about his wife. Yeah. So now moving forward here, Democratic state lawmakers announced new bills on Wednesday that would restrict Confederate monuments across Georgia and put Stone Mountain Park and its massive carving honoring rebel leaders directly in the center of the discussion, the conversation, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Now, Representatives Shelley Hutchinson and Billy Mitchell, they with a handful of other legislators and activists, they discussed their proposals during a press conference at the state capitol. The reality is it's not a matter of if the symbols will come down. Mitchell said it's a matter of just when. Now, House Bills 237 and 238 filed by Hutchinson earlier this week will not only remove the protections for Confederate monuments in current Georgia law, but expressly prohibit tributes that are related to the Confederate States of America, slave owners, or persons advocating for slavery on public property. There will be exceptions for museums and Civil War battlefields. Mitchell added that they plan to file that will correspond later in that piece of legislation. He said it would take a more focused approach, eliminating restrictions on the Stone Mountain Memorial Association's ability to make changes to Confederate imagery at Stone Mountain Park. This was a very interesting story for me, but I was reading a lot of comments online. Of course, a lot of people in Georgia are totally okay with this. I don't even want to tell you what they really want to happen. They're like, they
want the whole wall defaced.
Yes,
just sand that sucker down.
Yes, they said sand it. People said they wanted it exploded. But one thing that I was reading, I'm not sure because I don't know about that much about the Georgia flag, but the Georgia flag and the Confederate flag are also like very, very close, and so a lot of Georgians are also pushing to have the Georgia flag, redesigned as well. So that a lot of people are kind of like, we're talking about Stone Mountain, but they're also like, we need the flag changed as well.
The Stone Mountain is, I mean, the carving, if you're not familiar, depicts 3 Confederate leaders. Fascinating. Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah.
Why in the world would we want to teach our children that these 3 men are honorable? And also, Stacey Abrams has kind of been, one of at the forefront of this fight for years, wanting big changes to this mountain. She said something before. She said, we must never celebrate those who defended slavery and tried to destroy the Union. How is that something up for discussion?
Look, man, Georgia's that blue state. 51% in Atlanta, outside Atlanta, is black folks. They want to change. It's going to change. I really think it will, yeah.
All right, officials say construction of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago will move forward this year after a 4-year federal review and other delays. Former President Barack Obama chose a Southside Lakefront Park as the site for his presidential library in 2016. And it's not far from where he started his political career, taught law, and lived with his family. However, the planning hit numerous snags due to a legal battle with park preservationists and protests from neighborhood activists who feared the planned $500 million center would displace black residents. Take a look at this.
Jobs and economic opportunity, especially for Southside residents, because we believe the team that's building the center should look like the community it calls home. And through the museum, the center will be a place to honor history while inspiring young people to write chapters of their own, giving them the tools, resources, and connections they need to create change in their own communities. Today, with the conclusion of a careful federal review process that spanned several years, we're ready to get to work.
Chicago City Council has since approved neighborhood protections, and a 4-year federal review process has been completed. That review process was needed because its location is in Jackson Park, and Jackson Park is on the National Register of Historic Places. Obama Foundation officials say the city will start pre-construction work in April, and that includes the relocation of utility lines. They say actual construction could start as early as August. This area is obviously really important to the former president. It's where he met Michelle. It's where his kids were born. But I do want to ask you, Demi, because I know you're from Chicago. You obviously are the expert on Chicago here.
Yes.
What did you think about the concerns and of the outcome of the review process?
Well, the thing is that I always love great things, to hear about my city, but not just my city. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I'm very, very proud about the south side of Chicago. So I'm always happy, just like what we were talking about, Emmett Till's house becoming a national landmark on the south side of Chicago. So this is very, very big. And this is, Jackson Park is one of those parks that's I can't think of what it is to the example for Los Angeles, but it's just like one of those really big parks, like with barbecues.
Griffith Park. Griffith Park, maybe.
Not Griffith. No, it's more so like the Black Park, like where everybody goes for like 4th of July and things like that, like the inner city park. But everyone had their barbecues, their birthday parties there. So this is a huge deal for Chicago and the South Side of Chicago. So anyone that has anything bad to say, we don't want to hear it.
It's a new spot to go to now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Take your family, take your kids there for vacation, because this will be history once it's up and running. And I know it's going to be a library, athletic center, outdoor recreation space. So if you think about all of that. And I also was looking real quick to see what other presidents had libraries. I see Nixon has 2, one in Maryland and California. So can Obama get like 3 or 4? Can he get one like in Atlanta, one in California?
You know what? I don't want him to have other libraries. I kind of want him to be in Chicago, because that's our guy.
So you've been selfish. I got it.
Oh, yeah. No. He
home.
belongs in Chicago. But I'm really curious to see if it's going to be open, if you have to have membership. I'm really curious to see. So hopefully we get more details on that, Brooke. Keep us posted. All right, checking in with our YouTube soulmates. One of our soulmates, I can't pronounce their name, but Bofling says, "Hey, soulmates from Chicago, Illinois. How fitting." And they didn't even know that we were going to be talking about this today. Another one of our soulmates says, "Glad to be here with everyone. I speak peace to all my soulmates." Another one of our soulmates says, "Body cams should be on at all times." Just reading one more. So be it one says, "This is horrific. Praying for that family, and so are we." I'll be getting more comments posted during the show.